What's going on, everybody? Cloud here from Moonwell of Magic, and we are back. It's been a while since we've done a video, alright? So we're going to explain where we've been and what we're doing, but we're also going to be talking about some of the important aspects of spell work today, alright? So let's get into it.
Flying around the sun on this giant blue sphere. Life's a celebration, so let's spread a little cheer. Just share the love, but don't hold no fear, because we're all just spinning on the wheel of the year. From south wind to May bond and all the in-between. Open your mind up to everything. Don't worry about the past, just live right here, because we're all just spinning on the wheel of the year.
Alright, guys. So the last video that we posted here on Moonwillow Magic was the Baron Brack recipe for Samhain, and I had some other content planned for the time for around Samhain and about Samhain, and it kind of didn't happen. I had a lot of stuff hit me in the face, like real life wise and everything, so we had to kind of take a back seat for a little bit. But while we did this, we still managed to keep Witchcraft Grenade going, and I still have been writing, so you know, the music thing's going well and Witchcraft Grenade's going well. Lady Book Dragon and I just recently sat down with Nightshade from Flatline to Beatline on his channel, on his podcast Flatline to Beatline, and he also came on Witchcraft Grenade about a month ago, and we had a really awesome conversation. And we've also talked with Megan Black from Around the Cauldron, and we've spoken with Mark Silver, who is the author of The Elemental Path. So we've been doing well on the Witchcraft Grenade side of things and continuing with the podcast. So with this channel, we're going to be eventually getting those episodes up on Moonwillow Magic so everybody can see them. And I also do have a music video coming, so that's going to be really awesome to have. But this channel started talking about witchcraft topics and ideas and stuff like that, so I want to get back to that. And I told myself last month in November that I was going to get back to that, and then I had this like really bad case of vloggers block, I guess you could call it, or like YouTuber block or whatever. And I was having trouble coming up with topics to talk about. So I guess I gotta sit down and like plan out the next 10 videos or something like that, like a lot of YouTubers do, so that way I can stay focused and keep on the ride with it. But you know, I got my hands into a lot of pots during this pandemic, and so we're going with that. All right, could have cranked out a couple IPR artist spotlight videos, and you know, I have been still working on everything. Just this channel ended up taking a back seat to that. So for all of my subscribers out there, I would like to personally thank you for sticking around, and thank you for all the support. And sorry I haven't been around for 45 days or so. So today what we're going to be talking about is, you know, your spell work. And in your spell work, now most of you witches already know this, the power comes from you, right? It doesn't come from the herbs you're using and, you know, the tools that you're using for the spell, your words, your intent, your inner power, your focus is what makes this happen. Now most of us know this. There's some out there that may not, and that's a new concept to you, and that's fine. So looking back on some of the things that we've said for this channel, on how energy is directed, and we had the video on where we talked about how your state of mind was and how that affects your magic. So in this video, we're going to be talking about a few of the aspects of yourself that go into your magic that you want to have, you know, ready before you start writing spells, casting spells, and all of that. The first one is knowledge. So that's really your first step. You have to know what it is you're doing. I mean, hello. So what I mean by this is you have to study. You have to put in the work. And through putting in this work, it's going to deepen your connection with the craft. Okay? So when it comes to spells, you will be writing your own or working something through something that you're familiar with, as opposed to other alternatives that are out there via the internet. So don't read one thing or watch one TikTok video where they just break out this spell like, hey, if you want to bring money into your life or you want to bring love into your life, just use these herbs and say these words and it'll happen for you. There's a lot more to it than that. Now, on the face, that looks fine. And on its face, that is also most likely accurate depending on the source. But what people don't realize is that when we say that the power comes from within you, it really comes from within you. You have to be the one to push it forward. You have to believe it's going to work. Now, I've said this before on the channel numerous times. When you are casting a spell, the minute you think to yourself while you're in the process of putting the spell together, and even after the energy is sent, that it's not going to work, well, it's not going to work. Which brings up the idea of faith. When we're talking about faith, that word is mostly used in your Judeo-Christian belief structures and all of that, your Abrahamic religions and all of that. Faith is nothing more than a word. All right? You put your faith into what it is that you're doing. You believe in yourself that your spell is going to work, thus having faith in yourself. Now that is number 2. All right? It's a funny word, that word faith, though. You know? You can have faith in others and no faith in yourself. Or you could have faith in yourself and no faith in others. And when it comes to the idea of spirit guides and deity, one could argue that your spirit guides are projections of your subconscious. And if you're of that train of thought, when you are putting faith behind what your spirit guides are showing you and what they're telling you, then you're ultimately putting faith in yourself and you're doing that work within yourself. So faith's a funny word, but it is just a word. All right? So you have to believe what it is that you're doing and that your spell's going to work. Now, naturally, we want to take that with a little bit of a grain of salt, because if I'm going to sit here and think I'm going to conjure a fireball in my hand or bend some water or something like that, yeah, there's a good chance that you can believe that until you're blue in the face, and it's not going to happen because it's just not physically possible for a human to do that. Or is it? Maybe we just don't have enough faith in ourselves. It's a funny little question for you guys to think about. All right. Moving on to number 3. This is kind of my addition to the idea, because we had this whole conversation within my coven earlier today before I started talking about this video. And specifics. That is another aspect to your magic that you would do well to incorporate into your spell work. And here's why. You can do a spell for healing across the country, for the whole country, right? And you can do the ritual, charge your candles and dress them properly and everything that you do for it. And you light your candles and you perform your ritual and you direct your energy and you send it out there. And it basically is such a broad idea that you're sending it out for. Your intent is for such a broad area that your energy is going to dissipate. And while it still will work towards what it's doing, it may not be as you know, there's a word I'm looking for there, and I'm going to find it. So, if it's not going to be as potent, because we found the word, it's not going to be as potent. So what can we do? Specifics, okay? For example, my grandmother got COVID, right? And she's well into her recovery now, so everything is all good, but she got COVID, and I wrote a spell as soon as I found out. And I performed said spell. And I specifically broke it down for her exactly what I wanted it to do. And when I directed my energy, it went directly to the source, to the point that I wanted it to go to. Now, this is more accurate, it is more precise, and the energy that you raise will go to one area as opposed to 100,000. You got a pretty good chance of that working for you. But it all comes down to faith, right? That's what I said again. See, this is where it gets tricky. You could think, I'm going to blanket the world with healing. And you will. If you focus it on one person, though, you'll actually see the results. Thus making you more confident in your own magic and all of that, and helping out the people that you wish to help with your magic. This goes the same way for curses and hexes, too, guys. Alright, so for those of you who, you know, walk that path to where, you know, throwing a curse out, throwing a hex out is something that you'll do. I mean, yeah, it works the same way. And this is why specifics are important, because you may want to hex one particular person and not be specific enough in how you write your incantations and how you plan your spell. And then all of a sudden, bam, you've affected 12 other people around that one person with this one hex without really meaning to. So specifics is very important. The last one that we're going to go into is you. Yourself. Now there's the most important aspect of your magic right there. We could talk about having the knowledge. We could talk about having the faith in yourself and the belief that your spells are going to work. And we could talk about the specifics on how you wrote the spell. But it is up to you. Numero uno. One. You. Alright? Now in a coven setting, it's up to the coven and everybody that's taking part in the spell. But when it's just your own solitary practice, it is you. It is a combination of you, your faith, your knowledge of the craft and what you're going to do, and the specifics on how you write your spell. Seems pretty simple, right? Now this is like core witchcraft 101 that we're talking here. But what I've been seeing on some of these, you know, social media sites and all of that is just a spell posted. And while the ingredients of the spell and the incantation that is said for the spell, the words are proper, and all of that is proper because there are a lot of witches out there, and there are a lot of well-studied witches out there. But it really comes to you when you are performing this, whether you took the spell's writing or not, to kind of mod it to how you want it to be. That's very important. You can just take a spell verbatim if you want, but you don't really 100% know what you're going to get from it. And, you know, God forbid, don't pay for somebody else to do the spell without getting some form of proof, you know? Like, because that's a thing right now, which is unfortunate for all of us involved. And, yeah, that's going to be a whole other video talking about that, the solicitation of magic and such. So, moving forward, guys, I want to know what you guys think about this because this topic is very important, all right? And what I'm doing is just putting a base coat down, right? Now, we can dig deeper into this and we can really get into a discussion about it. And that's one of the things that I do love about this channel. All right? So comment below and let me know what you think the most important aspects of Spellwork are. All right? Till next time, guys. I'm Cloud with Moon Willow Magic, and it has been a long time. And we're not going to let it be as long next time. All right? Till then, bright blessings and blessed be, guys.